someone right now is, or they're going to be experiencing a very explorative energy. They're exploring, and I'm hearing they're exploring new territory, new terrain, something that they've not done before. It's like they're feeling more ungoverned than they ever have felt before. I think that they've released something, some kind of chain. Maybe it was like a really unhealthy attachment or something, but it felt like a ball and chain. It ended up feeling very burdensome. So this is why they're feeling this. I'm seeing like literally a bird flying free, specifically a white dove. So maybe it's something to do with their heart space. Yeah, it's really beautiful, because I think that this is someone who, it's like, I'm hearing green light, but they had to be the one who made the decision to move in this direction, to be their own green light. I think that whatever it has been undiscovered for them is going to be their new exploration journey. And I think there's something about it that's really exciting, is what I'm feeling. But also, they feel a bit nervous, whoever this is. They're feeling a bit nervous because it's something I haven't done before. It's so new. It's one of those things, it's like when you're learning how to drive and you've never driven before. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you lessons, right? And maybe this is someone who likes to know straight away, so they don't have to go through the process of maybe feeling like they're failing, maybe, or feeling like, I don't know, they just want to be good at wherever they're going, what they're doing. They could very well be in a new environment. Okay, because I'm seeing a plane. They could also be exploring travel-wise as well. But it's interesting because I get this energy of someone not wanting to do certain things by themselves. It's like they know that there's certain things they need to do because it's their personal journey, this new terrain, this feeling ungoverned, and finally exploring this freedom, this sense of freedom, especially from their heart. But it's like there's certain things I want to do, and this came up when I said that traveling the world, like they don't want to do it by themselves. But again, feels like somebody who it's in their control, like it's in their hands to take the actions moving forwards. See if there's any cards for whoever this energy is. Oh my god. Yes, it's time. Autumn time. So right now, someone's going to be, I think, again, it's that energy of that harvest. I think they've got way more behind them now than they had before. They've had to work for it as well. And I'm not necessarily saying like actual work. There's something about it. Could even be, their emotions, and, they've had to really go through something to get to this point, because this is all about culmination. So they've been building to this point. They've been gathering, they've been stocking up to reach this point where they can finally move on and no longer have to look back. Maybe they were reliant on someone or something. Yeah, they don't want to look back. There's abundance on this card. There's abundance. Beautiful. Exploration, that's really nice. I think that I actually feel like someone's feeling, I don't know, there's this excited energy, I think there's been a build up to this energy as well. I think there's something, the Empress. Oh my god, the Emperor. Wow. I will say, I think that someone's had to take a lot of time aback. They've had to, and I think that this is someone who still needs to do that, to make sure they're aligned with themselves. Like I said, there was something about an unhealthy attachment, so maybe this is someone who, they need to be mindful they don't fall back into that, and they know this, by the way. This is another part of the new, exploring new terrain, doing things differently, They're learning themselves as they do this. So we've got the Emperor and the Empress. Wow. I'm hearing inner alchemy, but there's definitely something about, especially this Empress has come out, Venus energy, there's love, pleasure, beauty, attraction, charm. That's the energy that they're going to be almost like just indulging in, but it's not from a place of unhealthy attachment. It's actually like it's as though the heart is, like I said, it feels free, it feels liberating. And this Empress is magnetizing, so this is where they're going to be able to access their divine light internally and choose that in their choices moving forwards, whereas in the past I'm not sure they did. Emperor and the Empress, so this is, that balance, that yin and yang, taking that action, being a proud leader led by, I keep hearing heart-centered, less ego. Wow. Beautiful. Knowing your worth. Knowing your worth is a big one, because that's how the Emperor and the Empress come out. They know their worth. They know they are their divine selves, and they just need to take the right actions in that direction, especially when it comes to releasing attachment. Twin flames, 1111. So maybe these are two, the divine counterpart, and there's been a lot of allowing things to unfold. There's opportunity moving forward. There's excitement, there's expansion. There's going to be something to, I feel like saying celebrate, but I think that also is not going to be such a huge celebration. It's just going to be something that brings you joy. And this is when you're going to allow the unfold to take place. Wow. When you're on that journey, there are times when divine will literally give you these specific wins, if you will. But it feels like you wait a very long time to get there. That's why that yes card has come through. It's like, yes, it's time. The abundance, the culmination. It's not being for anything. Nothing, sorry. Okay, so over the next 2 weeks, it's expanding. Gemini energy could be important over the next 2 weeks. It's important not to be led by fantasy and illusion. And I think this is the two parts of you that you're finding the balance with, like your reality and the dreams, and where you might have thought, oh, wait for the next life or something. No. You're meant to be here doing it now. There's still time for you to get it right. Somebody must have been stuck on time, something about time. Virgo, the Hermit. Yeah, soul searching, enlightenment, going within. There's been a lot of solitude. And maybe that's with the moon here. Maybe there's still some of this happening over the next 2 months as well. Needing that time to come back within and saying, there's the Emperor again. Oh my God, and the Wheel of Fortune. Something's shifting massively in this connection. I'm going to say that now. Okay. Holding faith in your intuition. Some of the best people that you could have in your life are the ones who don't make you doubt your intuition. Yes, you have to decipher between where your fears are making you think that's true when actually there's a fear, and that's some kind of underlying shadow, which clearly I think you've been working through, you understanding that better. And then there's that energy of that's what you truly desire, and then your part of you is like, yeah, that's the way, that's not your intuition, that's your desire leading. You have to really find that discernment. And that does require you going within, that silence, stillness. What part of you, where in your body are you feeling the pull? Where in your body are you storing emotion? Leo energy is the sun. Vitality, success, moving forwards. That's on your mind. But again, it's about understanding how in your body, where are you holding still past traumas that are leading and driving, versus how much have you recognized that, you've been clearing through that, and understanding, lifting through those veils and seeing, hold on. That's the soul path. Because when it feels right, it just feels right. There's no explanation. There's no facts, no figures, It's not even proof, it's your inner feeling. Again, Virgos come out straight after that Virgo card, so that's important. Virgo season energies. Autumn time again. Okay. I think someone's been dealing with something over the past year. From Virgo season to Virgo season. They've been releasing something here. I don't know if they know this, but... Oh, the Tower, yeah. God, there's massive change coming. I think someone's experienced changes. They had to upheavals, but now it's like the action and the desire that I mentioned. That's why it's like, be mindful. That's why that came through. It says desire and then action. So be mindful that it's like what is leading you. So it's coming from your healthy space, your healthy alignment. And be honest about that. If sometimes you feel like there's that unhealthy thing coming up, you can be honest about it. It's like, okay, wait, this is about get going, time to get going, beginnings, birth, new beginnings. Wow, this is going to be complete change. And it needs to be. Okay, so this did want to come out. So it's about letting things unfold. There's an opportunity. There's going to be enjoyment. There's going to be expansion, especially for this divine feminine energy. There's an opportunity coming in for her. And it's something that she's magnetized because she's been learning how to stay in her alignment. She's been focusing on her. When you feel the pulls on your energy, you have to first learn where you're feeling them, where they're coming from. And you don't always have the facts in front of you. There's nothing tangible necessarily. So that's why when you are on that divine feminine path, you really do activate that inner oracle, that high priestess. That's why you really, this Hermit Virgo energies, you tap it in and you have to. This is why often you're led on a path of celibacy and led on a path of like just everything that you could try to externally validate or find externally, you'll start to find within you. And you need to, because you're the treasure of divine feminine. It's important to remember that. Not because, I'm not talking about your ego, I'm talking about this is how you connect to divine. This is how you help others bring back. And you know how I said there's a massive transformation going on with this. So massive transformation with this connection. The death card has come out with that, and that's about letting go. And I do think that the moving on as well is going to be from the Tower of the Past for this particular connection. Oh my god, it fell. That was like the tower. I don't know how that happened. So it's about letting go. It's going to be a tower overhaul, and you need to. That's your past timeline. You know, if you start holding on to that and versions of you in that past timeline, whoever you're connected to, your person in that past timeline, you can't come through this new quick ideas, manifesting communication, moving forwards. What you've got to do, your path ahead, where you're seeing your purpose, you're holding that vision. Can't do that because you're still holding on to the past elements. Yes, don't get me wrong, you do need to talk through things. The right conversations need to be had so that you're both on the right, same page, if you will, but you're both aligning and you're both intentionally choosing to do that. You can't just ignore what happened. Absolutely not, especially if there truly was a tower. So there absolutely was an ending here, and it felt like a tower, which often is the case in these connections, but it's a divine feminine here who really has learned how to surrender. This is where this new opportunity wants to come through. There had to be a letting go, a breakup. You might very well be releasing this connection, the label, the these idealized versions of how it should be, what it should be. You're tapping back into yourself. You're finding your abundance within you. It's creating room. It really is. This is where you're going to be exploring new terrain. Leo, Strength card. This is what's happening over the next 2 months then. Your ability to your courage, your confidence, your belief in yourself, and in your path, because you're finally releasing the need to hold on to it, the attachment. You have been releasing that. It's beautiful. Oh my god, 2 Leo cards. That's an important... Leo and Virgo are really important. 2 Virgo cards, 2 Leo cards. It's really important. Maybe summertime was massively important for you, but this is where there's going to be success for pouring in. I feel like there's going to be some kind of windfall for you, and I think that it's not come easy. You've had to truly learn how to release and let go. You've had some big lessons on that. The ideas of what you wanted, even that vision that I said, hold your vision. I think that actually you've wanted the things you've wanted, and you've had to learn how to just let it go, because there's a reason that it's like you were attaching to it, you're attaching your worth to it, you're attaching something to it that wasn't healthy. So when you receive it, it's like you need to learn how to feel whole and aligned without it. Your happiness isn't dependent on your external circumstances, material things, connection. It's within you. You've had to truly learn that. This summertime could have been important for lessons when it comes to that kind of thing as well. Okay. Yeah, the moon. That's come up with the Virgo cards. That's the moon, the Hermit, High Priestess. That's very beautiful. That really is a solo journey. Truly been going within and tapping into learning what your light is, and allowing that to be the lantern that's lighting the way forwards now. You're trusting that. There's silence here. There's things that are unspoken, which makes sense if there's a tower, which is why that came through. But you have to speak the truth. You have to have those heart-to-heart conversations. You need to be ready for that, right? But there's some kind of inner knowing here. This is another reason why, let's say you've activated your inner oracle, your surrender is massively based on your faith also. Your inner knowing guides you beautifully. But like I said, you've had to learn that balance between not making your desires, mixing your desires for what the truth of the situation is, right? When you see someone's name or whatever it is, some kind of sign, not allowing yourself to get so overexcited about it, which is, it's totally fine if you do, but you've clearly been releasing attachment in such a way that even when that happens, you're okay. You can breathe. You're released. You're not getting overly excited or anything like that. You're just that's come through for a reason, so maybe you resonate with that. But it's more that you're just allowing yourself to sit within, trusting that, actually allowing the flow, the surrender. These are powerful lessons, actually, when you're on this journey specifically. Temperance, Sagittarius energy. So yeah, there's going to be balance coming in. There's that moderation on this card as well, specifically. So I was talking about something like that. You've had to learn how to, for this abundant overflow to come through for you, you've had to learn how to maybe not be in excess. Maybe that was something you struggled with, just once you start, you can't stop energy. Wow, that's been something you've been healing over the past year. I'm not sure you realize this, but you've been healing it. Wow, really, you're becoming way more grounded and centered, really healthy. It feels really like an inner strength. Oh, King of Fire. Okay, let's see. That's like the next 7 days as well. Yeah, rebirth. giving you the opportunity for this rebirth to clear through that the upheaval of the past, total transformation, a complete change. The changes are required so that the tower of the past is cleared through, and you can finally create firm foundations for this new rebirth. And I think that's very much you rebirthing your inner child as well. You've been doing a lot of inner child healing work. Ascensions have been taking place for you, which makes sense. And that inner child healing work for you specifically has also to do with your money, your abundance. So you've been clearing some kind of maybe generational patterns, just something to do with your abundance that was stuck and blocked, to do with your inner child. Okay, there's a lot about that. So your sacral center has massively been healing, you know, when you work on that stuff. The King of Fire is here again, so the next 7 days could be important. We've also got the Lovers card here, more Gemini energy. That's come out with the Divine Feminine, and also allowing things to unfold. So you've been focusing on your inner alignment. You already know that Divine has this waiting for you when the time is right. And you're not constraining yourself to a timeline, to numbers, to lifetimes. You're literally just like, get it. You finally got it. That's a big step to reach that point. Massive. There's love, there's openness, there's warmth. It's like you really have embodied that space, that unconditional love that the Divine Feminine has, but with boundaries, with healthy boundaries, with the understanding that everyone's on their journey, and so are you, and you know your worth now. That's why this is finally allowing you to get to this energy and to receive. Yeah, grounding it down. You've got the Twin Flame card, then you've got the Scorpio Death card. Total transformation. There was an ending, and now you've got the Hierophant. This is major. This is high level. This is high level commitment. Taurus energies as well. It literally says marriage on this card, so you know, high level commitment, whatever that means to you, doesn't have to be actual marriage, you know, because that in itself is often a human concept that has a lot of restrictions, limitations. So you know, there's a way of doing it differently as well, so maybe you resonate with that, doing it differently. Yeah, Faith, you're a leader. You and your person are both leaders. You've put an end to this idea of how things should be, and it makes sense if you're truly on that path. Makes sense. You're not going to just follow traditions that were created in a way that just constrain the human soul and the truth of the heart, allowing the evolution of yourself, but also in connection, each other, allowing each other to evolve, not ball and chain energy that was coming through before, none of that anymore. Okay. All right, yeah, no more stuckness. Earth sign. Okay, yeah, so this is water signs. There's the energy of that. Again, intuition is big here. You're massively tapped in, right? But it's the energy of things are fluid. And you know this, I think. You know, your faith is there. Yeah, but this is because this needs to end. Yeah, this wrapping it up needs to end. Things will be stuck until you finally release this past pattern that I mentioned. Past versions of you, your person, the connection, what happened. Yes, you want to get to that point where you can talk through it, but you need to be a version of you that's able to handle that to begin with. If you're still attached to how things happen, if there were karmic energies involved, if you know all this kind of stuff that truly can really hurt you. Yes, it can. I'm not denying that, but it's about honoring and understanding this differently now, so that you can move forwards, not dismissing, not creating excuses. Understanding the soul evolution that you had to experience here, and not just for yourself. So the stuckness where it felt like things are fluid is soon going to come to an end, so you can finally move forward. That communication card keeps wanting to come forward. Let's see if there's anything else. This is it, allowing the divine unfold. So you really are in surrender mode, and you need to be. You need to be in surrender mode. I'm going to get you an animal card. That's beautiful. So the exploration that you're going to be having is that inner yin and yang as well, that inner union, but also the abundance that wants to come through for you. What did I say about your intuition? You really are tapped in. That's the owl, the all-seeing owl. Knows what's going on, sees through the facade, beyond the veils, remember? Wise, aware, observant, secrets lifted. Remember I said the silence, the secrets, part of you already... I think that part of you might already be tapped into understanding that more as well, you know, without necessarily having tangible evidence, right? Insights, you know what's going on, you're someone who explores the unknown, and that's clear, you know, that's clear here. Let's just see if there's anything else that wants to come through, some clarity for you. Just to see. Mask, yeah, there's been mask. Number 14 could be important. This is also the messages coming through here. This is another thing. Yes, there's been masks. There's been masks, and often cases there are, but you have to also reach a point where you're understanding. Again, this is a very specific message. It's not going to be for everyone. If you're truly on this path, I'm not talking about abusive connections or anything like that, okay? You reach a point for whoever this collective is where you understand that actually the masks have far less to do with you than they do with somebody else, and somebody else who clearly feels a lot of, I'm going to say, shame and about their true authentic self expression. They clearly have some deep wounds here, so they've had to wear masks, because they haven't accepted themselves. Once you accept yourself, you don't need to wear masks. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to operate in inauthentic expression. Someone's been afraid, they really have, or maybe they've been intimidated by your energy, by your power, which can often be one of the cycles that divine masculines go through. Snake, there's been silent treatment, deception, it feels like betrayal, felt toxic, right? Maybe again, like I said, that karmic energies came through for a reason. Maybe there was some kind of third party influence here. Number 7, betrayal, jealousy. That's another thing. You can't be jealous of each other. Not in connection. You should be proud of each other. You should be wanting each other to inspiring each other. Maybe someone has a lot of jealousy though as well. That's why they operate behind masks, because they think they know what's going on. But that's, again, this is why that needs to clear. That's past energies. That's past timelines. Okay, seduction, sexuality, counterproductive. Honesty, I did say there's been secrets here. This is a clock, divine timing, standing the test of time. Okay, everything's unfolding divinely. That's why that final card there was trust the divine unfold. This is timeless. It's not constrained to a time frame. Okay. Yeah, masculine energy makes sense, and that's come out with the mask and the snake. So this is someone who needs to speak some truths, and they're afraid because they're still thinking about the past timelines, just like you. You're very much mirroring that to each other, okay? And I also think that there's something to do with their sexual energy specifically that's coming through, and that could be tied to their childhood, but something about that they've, I'm going to say, struggled with, actually, but they didn't see it like that, okay? They were driven by lust and desire a lot. This is an energy they've had to really learn how to control, okay? Which is why, again, for you, that sacral was coming through big. That's your inner child, so that's obviously helping. You help each other, especially divine feminine, when you're healing through your energy fields. You really do. Look at that heart. The cross, trials, and not every cross is yours to bear. Not every battle is yours to fight. This is something they've had to do by themselves. You've had your own trials and losses, and you know what it's like, the emotional losses. The divine masculine goes through a lot of 3D destruction. That's where they get the most powerful awakenings from. Divine feminine is often the internal shift. Yeah, you get your external destruction too, but for you, the biggest awakenings are what's going on within. There's been trials, there's been losses. This is destiny's fate, necessity, duty, crisis. You've had to go through this. Your soul signed up for this, 36-6. This is where you've had to learn how to trust divine guidance, and your divine guidance have been coming through strongly for you. I think this is something that you're learning. Trials and sorrow. I think you know this, but your person is learning. Yeah, they've had a lot of trials and sorrow, this person, to get to this space so they can finally got the glow of their heart. They had to go through a lot. Okay, finally, someone's on track. You're on track finally. The megaphone, you could be someone who's in the spotlight more now. You're shining, amplifying, you're getting a wider audience. And like I say, if you're truly on that twin flame path, you really are here to serve, be of service. So you often do have community around you. Maybe you have some kind of following, just something where you can reach the people who need you. Okay, and it's different for everybody. It doesn't mean everyone sees you all the time. It's not like that. Everyone's got a very different path, very different unique purpose, but I'm talking about the right people. Okay, so that's important. And this is about moving forwards. Again, no more past lingering. This is about looking ahead now. There's clearly things that so need to be cleared up, and that's going to come through communication, the right communication, healthy communication, holding space for each other's truth, not getting triggered by it, because it's not about you. You mirror to each other massively what needed to heal, what was hidden in the depths. Okay, behind the scenes. That's where you're learning how to lift those veils. There's one way going the distance, traveling could be important. Moving forwards. I did say something about a new environment actually. So there is that energy of, divine masculine, when they're empowered to move forward, they're empowered. It's not this like shady energies, and I think this is something someone's got to learn. They're learning, how to be that, to embody that. Going public, you got that Taurus energy, the Hierophant. Major announcement, increasing visibility, bold. So this is about embodying that strength that was coming through before. Embodying that. That's what's unfolding over the next 2 months as well for somebody. You're really going to be embodying that more. Winding road, lots of self-discovery, but as a result, the success, the win, the end. Patience was needed here. Use tact. Yeah, none of this creating more tornadoes and whatnot. 28. Explore. It literally says explore in here. So you're going to be able to explore new terrain, and that happens when you come together in alignment as well. But also this is the next level of your connection, which isn't necessarily in the physical, it's in the spiritual as well. What's happening behind what can't be seen necessarily, you know what I mean, from the human eyes, third eye. Personal growth has been out of the world here. This says explore twice, actually, this card. So clearly, I don't know if that's an error, but clearly that's an important message, to explore. So this is actually encouraging you to explore your journey too, what your options are moving forward, who you are becoming. That's beautiful, as you can get to explore each other when the time is right. What else do you need to be aware of? This could be a masculine who's moved, or they're in a new environment as well. Look after your health. The health is super important right now for somebody. Alchemy, branding, brewing, potions that work. I think someone's really trying to, maybe they truly are taking medicine for their nervousness or something, of approaching this and moving forwards with this or something. But maybe they've had a lot of health issues that they've had to deal with. You too. So it's about breaking down the past so you can make something new moving forwards. The alchemy is both of you doing that together. Yeah. This is why you've got to do that within. You can't wait for somebody else to come and validate you for that. You have to say, no, I'm ready to do that. I know what I deserve. So I said that as well. The rings. So number 25, and this really is about that agreement, the agreements that I mentioned. You've had agreements, you've had to understand that, you've had to clear through those, right? Pacts, cycles, promises. There's a promise made here. I don't know what it is, but there was a promise made here. Maybe more than once. Someone said something that didn't follow through. Time to follow through. It's getting there. Okay, the time is coming. Karma, closure, circle of trust, committed, contracts, partnership, reaping what you sow. Yeah, your circle of trust, I think someone's circle of trust has massively changed. Golden ticket, reaping what you sow. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh, Firefly, this is your whole journey to find out you are someone exceptional, you're magical. You have that beautiful soul spark. You've been receiving so many light codes. There's illumination, there's chemistry, massive chemistry in this as well. Creative spark, you've reignited that. That's why that sacral energy has been beautiful, that healing. Self-discovery, fire. Gorgeous. Then that Wheel of Fortune, that's all about karmic closure. Something's out of your hands, but you're recognizing the synchronicities that are taking place, allowing the unfold as it needs to take place. People have had to learn a lot of lessons here. Okay, a lot of lessons. Yeah, there's been a lot of complications, tangled up. There's been such untruths that it just feels like it's too complicated, but this is where this communication comes in to reveal the truth. No more feeling strung along, puzzled, in complicated, problematic circumstances. No more of that. This communication that comes through this letter is going to clear through that, and you're both going to stay anchored as this happens. Okay, anchored, grounded, within yourself as well. Yeah, because actually, it's helping each other when you do that. Oh my God, the car, I haven't seen that in a while. The heart. All systems go, pressure's on. Speedily moving forward. 32 cars could be important to somebody. Get going, urgent, doing it now, action, bold again, speed, goal oriented, breaking limits, live fast, take risks, be determined. Like I said, this isn't about waiting for the next lifetime. I think for someone it's like a big risk to do it now, but then that's the whole point. Then you're meant to be doing it now. That heart is here to glow, to sing, to be in joy. Love this joy, There's forgiveness written on that card as well, actually, so. Okay, anything else? This also has forgiveness written on it. Glass heart. Number 11. Vulnerability, apologize. Delicate, clear, sensitive, openness, handle carefully. transparency, connection, forgiveness. And it also says take a risk. So that's twice now, one after the other. So someone's really going to feel like they're taking a risk here because they're going to be vulnerable. And I think you're going to be feeling this. Vulnerability. That's another thing you mirror. So you're going to need to create that space to be vulnerable. Maybe, you know, that intimacy. Sometimes you can have a laugh with it with each other, you know, whatever it is that works for you. Let's get another one. Okay, maybe we'll get some more. This is about obstacles. So maybe there's been distance here. Well, I think there has been distance here. Cold, indifferent, blocked. Yeah. Problems again, interruption. You're going to need to clear through pride. Pride is not going to help anyone. Stubbornness, delays. Your own stubbornness has been preventing you from bringing in the new cycle. The stubbornness keeping you in the past of what happened. You really need to get acquainted with your vulnerability so that you can create that intimacy with each other. I know it's hard sometimes when you want to protect yourself. They can't see you, so, you know, maybe you use the word weak. It's not weak at all. This is that glass high. It's vulnerability. It's being human. It's humanness. Maybe I don't think you have had anyone ever allow you to be like that, to be so vulnerable and felt safe and protected and loved in that. You haven't had that. That's why this is so hard for you. And this could be a thing that is mirrored. One of your biggest lessons, it has been. That's what this is showing you on your one of your biggest lessons. Patience as well. Self-expression, the drum, number 1. Okay, so again, being bold. That's like come out so many times. Being bold, being heard, speaking your mind, communicating, negotiating, rhythm, balance, order, sending a clear message. So getting your message across, but not creating hostility, allowing still the space to say, this is my truth and I accept your truth as well. So how can we overcome these obstacles to move forwards together wherever the conversation takes you, right? Because there's something about communication that's a big deal here. You don't want that to be yet another block. Yeah, especially if you're feeling nervous or anxious, you know, no one's going to respond well to you picking and asking questions. Oh, well, what about this? What about that? People, when the time is right, people will tell you what they need to. And if they're not going to tell you, then clearly they're not in the right position to even bother. Do you know what I mean? So you need to come back to your worth, your worthiness. When Divine Masculine knows what they need to, they know what they need to say, who they need to be. Trust that. Again, divine timing. The success is there, right? Divine timing, perfect timing, the clock. 1-9. Don't forget, Divine Masculine will want to see whether you are ready. That's going to be how you respond, putting yourself with your worth. You don't need to be all, oh my God, what about this, what about that, nagging, No. Divine Feminine, remember I kept saying magnetize. You welcome in what's right for you. And if it's not, then it doesn't get your energy, right? With respect, you know. Perfect timing, origins, culmination. Again, culmination. This has really been gathering this has been taking a while then, which makes sense if you're truly on that journey. Unstoppable, of course it is. It's inevitable. Standing the test of time, longevity, past, present, and future. You're going to have to find alignment in the past, present, and future to overcome these. But you're going to need to be so honest, like so truly deeply honest, which is going to allow your person to also feel that they are safe to be. Okay, that's so important for both of you. You truly have to hold that safe space because that's how you're going to overcome these issues. I think you've had a lot of communication problems, whoever this is, clearly. You've just not been honest. I think you've both been wearing masks. Yes, it came out with the Divine Masculine, but even I think a mask sometimes is just not being vulnerable as well. It can be because you're scared. So you put on the mask like you're totally fine, but you're not. Yeah. And actually, them knowing that is going to help them. I feel really emotional, so there's definitely emotion here that hasn't been spoken on. It's been felt deeply. Archer, you're on target, shooting straight. Number 1, again, 1s are so important. New beginnings. Careful aim, focus, quick, direct, precise, implementing a strategy. Ooh. Okay. Archer. That's giving Sagittarius energy actually as well. I'm seeing the, oh my God, I can't remember. You know in Harry Potter, centaurs? I can't remember, but yeah. Garden. So this could be a date, right? Nervous communication. So maybe there is going to be some kind of meeting, but there's an event here. There's community as well. Public venue, could be in a public venue. Community outdoors, crowds, audience, society, party. Communication is often, not always, it's like this written communication first in order to find that inner balance, in order before the physical, because you have to align each other's energy fields as well. Be prepared for that because it's strong, it's powerful. Number 5, centered, meditate, integrating opposing forces. You're going to need to keep doing this, stay on top of this. Flow, feeling complete. You reach a point where it just becomes natural, okay? But you have to be intentional with it, truly, to begin with. And throughout, really. Just right, equality, well-being, awareness, because you are your number 1 priority. Overflowing abundance, tears of joy, letting it go, release, finding fulfillment, finally. No more chasing, no more holding on. That's what that is. That's why you're welcoming in this beautiful new abundant flow that wants to come through for you. Okay, seeds. Small beginnings, big results. There's potential here, and there's going to be some kind of feeling of hope. Okay. Oh, that's really beautiful. Okay, what else do you need to be aware of? Striking while the iron is hot. So taking determined action. Doorbell, invite, reconnecting, someone's returning, or someone's coming, there's a welcome, there's an alert. This could be an invitation to this party. Someone wants to, it might not even be to do with the person, you might just generally have some kind of event coming up, an invitation, which in itself will be a seed for you to plant for your abundant path as well, so maybe the right connections even. Taking determined action, strength, persistent, focus, purpose, resolve. The more you're focusing on your inner divine masculine as well as your feminine, your balance, that's actually helping your person to do the same thing on an energetic level. Number 10, someone's coming. There's a transition. There's an opportunity knocking, and you've got opportunity twice now. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through, and then I'm just going to get the other deck as well. The bear. Bear and stork. So grounded, rich, affluence, wealth. That could be important for you where you're moving. The very first card with your abundance card. Yes, it's time. Something about a boss, CEO could be important. You've got muscular energy there as well, like provider energy. That was a storks as well, so that's more transformation and new beginnings. Again, there's something about movement that's really important here. You could be moving. Okay, crossroads, you're going to have a lot of decisions to make. Multiple choices. Crossroads, wow. This is going to be one of your choices. Diamond ring. Next level. Agreement, proposal. Promise, partnership, statement of intent, marriage union, engagement. Wow. And if that's written, then it's written. That's you saying yes to what's written. Key, it's your solution. Locked in, that's important. Number 33 and 8. Solutions, intelligence, genius, insight, clarity, open, breakout, liberty, important, pay attention, lock, unlock, helpful. You're someone who's quite helpful. That's part of your path, your abundance path. But also I'm seeing that you're going to gain clarity by helping each other here. By seeing the truth, by communicating, by understanding each other, right? Boomerang. Okay. Third person. This is something coming back to you, but also you being told you are right. Yeah, so you could even be regaining your health, enthusiasm, your energy. This third person, I'm just going to get one more for this third person to see what's going on here. Yeah, okay, so this is the karmic energy that needs to be closed out. Third person. I wonder if that's you. There's a magnet here, so that can be a lot of lust, desire, that energy that was coming through before. I'm just going to double check. Is that you or is that your person who's dealing with this? What is this what's come through? Let's just double check something. And this is what happens when you're coming close together. These tests come through. This is a tree, so connection to divine is strengthening. You're rooting down so beautifully. Your health, again, your vitality is increasing. It's beautiful. Someone will want to come through, and it's going to be you handling this very self-interest energy, very focused on getting what I want. You're going to have to be mindful of that. Yeah, stay grounded, stay anchored. You've been persisting this long. Your heart knows your truth, your glow. Your heart knows what is real and what isn't, okay? And who and what as well. I'm just going to really quickly get you some message cards for your... What does your person want to say to you? What does your person for this particular collective want to say to you? Number 10, I long for your kisses and your touch. Beach could be important for you. Maybe they long to take you, whisk you away. That travel was coming through before for a reason. Okay, what does your person want to say to you? That's why the obstacles is so important, because that's what's in the way. That's what's in the way. Past. So this is number 8. Past lives are influencing our connection. I've lost you in other lifetimes, and that makes me afraid. I need to heal the grief to allow the love to bloom. That's why that keeps coming through. You need to release the past. Not be stuck in those old timelines, not just from this specific energy that you experience with each other at the tower, even past lives. That is true. You do have to clear through a lot of that. You lose each other in past lives. Sometimes there's death. Sometimes there's literally just the times you didn't get it right. There's still that pain, that fear is within, and that's what needs to be cleared through as well. So that karmic energy, yes, it can be past lives of other people you're connected to, but it's each other as well. How you didn't choose each other in the past, how you didn't get it right before. That's why you need time. You want to get it, both of you want to get it right, which means you want to come into that alignment. It's intentional. Communication is so important, but also your internal energy, how you're feeling about each other. When you feel a certain type of way about each other, recognize how is that within you that you're creating that, you know? What do you really want to be feeling like that towards your person? Then what's blocking you? What's, you know, what is it? Because usually more than anything, it's a fear of your own beneath the surface. Number 1, again, it's one of my favorite cards. I think you're beautiful inside and out. I see the light that radiates from your soul. That's number 1 again. Ones are so important. That means that a new beginning is imminent. It's just about how you handle this now, moving forwards. Wow, these are really beautiful messages from your person. These are romantic messages. Two of these are romantic messages, and then you've got one that's just, again, just about you two, losing you. Like, my God. Our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting. Number 10. You know, that's really interesting because that's where that block, that pride comes through, that block to communication. You so fear losing each other that there's this fear of being so intimate to the point where you can even be honest about that. That glass heart, this is your fragile glass heart. It doesn't even make sense because you can't see your past life. So hold on, where's this coming from? No, you have depth to your connection. Your feelings are valid. You don't need anyone to validate that for you. Okay, number 4. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me the way I needed them to. I'm reacting from that wound. Yeah, that's confirmation of what happened before, okay? Communication card at the bottom of the deck as well. Wow, this is really beautiful. So clearly, this was needed for the current situation. I'm going to get an animal card for your person. You were an owl, but your person's coming through now. So, divine masculine. Whoa, powerful. Phoenix. They're going through a phoenix moment. They're 24, death and rebirth, immortal, catalytic. They're realizing this connection is just eternal. And with that, so is their soul, and so is their strength, their courage, their determination, their power that they hold, that divinity within. They're recognizing their divine self. You've been there. You have been there. You go through many of these. Catalytic heart awakening, rising up from the ashes, total transformation, complete renewal. That was feel. I'm going to get one for your connection. That did feel like your connection as well. That's what... Okay, well... Falcon, number 2, rising above, ability, strategy, focus. You're going through a transition right now. Your higher self, your third eye is being activated for both of you, so you can finally understand the changes that are taking place, okay? But this card is all about misunderstandings, lip service, so be mindful of your communication when you come together, both of you, so you can create the safe space that you both need moving forwards, okay? I'm just going to see if there's any messages, cards from the angels for you. Yeah, you're real. Exactly what I said. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. It's not made up, okay? It's not, impossible. You're not crazy or anything like that. Wedding, engagement, so high level, that did come through. High level is on the mind. It clearly is right now, but it's just clearly this block that needs to be cleared through, which is the communication, and that comes with you being honest about your vulnerability. This just flipped through. This is from a different deck, and this is literally 8 of Wands, and that is often a communication card, like messages coming your way, a lot of opportunities, a lot of fast momentum. But with me just saying that, that's confirmation. There wants to be, don't forget, this came through for a reason, this beautiful letter. So there is this desire to communicate with you, and it's all going to come from, I didn't realize these were here. These are 2. I'm praying you'll come back after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow me another chance. Number 7. Number 10. Don't listen to other people. Trust yourself to know the truth. Wow, okay. So yeah, that's what it is. And you're going to have that third person test come through as well. Remember that. Focus on your heart, your space. You know what that is. Don't let anyone pull you back down into low vibrations, away from your bliss, your joy, your ability also to hold forgiveness, even for third people, regaining your vitality though as a result of that, so that you can finally move more towards this next level promise, this next level agreement that wants to come your way. Okay, you're gonna have decisions to make, but you've got the keys to unlock the right doors now. You've got that, so you've got the solutions, and they're coming, they're going to be flowing through, locked in on you. You got this. Sending love.